David Miller lived in Boston, a city of ambition, energy, and hidden rivalries. The city's glass towers and brick buildings carried stories of victories and silent defeats. David, in his mid-40s, was a project manager at a tech firm that thrived on competition. Each employee measured their worth not just by salary or titles, but by how much brighter they shone compared to others. Over the years, David found solace in Stoic philosophy, reading Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus during quiet evenings. He realized the world had not changed much. Envy and deception had always been companions of human ambition. David's office life was filled with subtle glances, unspoken judgments, and invisible contests. He knew from experience that people rarely show their true intentions openly. The Stoics taught him that character is revealed not in grand declarations, but in small, daily gestures. He carried this lesson into his workplace, where success often attracted silent resentment. He learned to pay attention, to observe quietly, and to recognize when smiles concealed discontent. This careful watchfulness became a shield, not to fight others, but to preserve his own inner peace amidst the storm of hidden envy. One Monday morning, David prepared for an important client presentation. His colleague Ethan stopped by his desk, carrying a smile that felt too polished. Ethan congratulated him warmly on his promotion, but the words carried a sharpness disguised as kindness. It was the first clear reminder that excessive compliments mixed with faint sarcasm often expose envy. A Stoic would not take such words too seriously, whether genuine or false. David thanked him calmly, remembering Aurelius's wisdom that another person's opinion, whether sincere or deceptive, should never disturb one's tranquility. As the week progressed, David encountered another sign. Amanda, a fellow colleague, approached him with concern. She quietly revealed that Ethan had been spreading rumors about him, suggesting he claimed credit for others' work. David felt the sting of injustice, but restrained his reaction. He recognized the second sign of envy and falsehood. Rumors and distortions whispered behind one's back. Instead of reacting with anger, David chose the Stoic path of patience. He began documenting his contributions, trusting that truth would defend him better than heated words. Epictetus's reminder guided him. It's not what happens, but how you respond. The office cafeteria often became a stage where hidden emotions leaked through. Over lunch, David noticed something peculiar. His colleagues laughed and shared stories, but whenever he spoke about his small successes or projects, Ethan's face hardened, even as his lips attempted a weak smile. This was the third sign: inconsistent emotions. True friends celebrate your wins wholeheartedly, but envy forces people into poor disguises. David quietly noticed the lack of genuine joy in Ethan's reactions. Yet he carried himself with dignity, refusing to allow another's discomfort to poison his spirit or reduce his gratitude for his achievements. Walking home one evening, the city lights reflecting on the Charles River, David contemplated what he had observed. He realized envy and falsehood were not modern problems alone, but universal. Human conditions, stretching across centuries. The Stoics themselves battled the same shadows. The wise response was not outrage, but serenity, not retaliation, but resilience. The envious may whisper, the deceitful may act, but one's own soul remains free if anchored in virtue. These thoughts strengthened David's resolve to face each subtle sign with awareness, not with bitterness. His journal became a space to record both actions and insights. A few days later, during a high-stakes meeting, Ethan once again made his presence known. He raised trivial objections, questioned minor details, and disguised it all as helpful feedback. David instantly recognized the fourth way envy exposes itself: unnecessary criticism masked as guidance. The intention was not to help, but to undermine. David took a slow breath, remembered to remain unshaken, and addressed each point with clarity. Instead of reacting emotionally, he allowed reason to guide his words. His calm composure unsettled Ethan, who expected frustration. David learned that staying grounded disarms those who thrive on disruption. The next recognition came soon after. Ethan began adopting David's style of dress, echoing his phrases, even repeating ideas David had previously pitched. At first, David found it amusing, but he soon realized the fifth sign: mimicry wrapped in resentment. When someone both imitates and resents you, envy hides in plain sight. The Stoics taught that imitation itself is not harmful. It is the bitterness behind it that reveals the truth. David noted the behavior without judgment. Seneca's words echoed in his mind. He who envies others gains nothing, but loses peace. David chose not to be unsettled. On Friday evening, as the office emptied, David sat by his desk reflecting. He had witnessed 5 clear signs of envy and falsehood within a single week. Compliments laced with sarcasm, rumors spread quietly, inconsistent emotional reactions, disguised criticism, and resentful mimicry. Each sign could have provoked him, but his practice of Stoicism had preserved his peace. He understood now more than ever why Marcus Aurelius wrote of the indifference one must cultivate toward external judgments. The envious could not harm his soul unless he gave them entry. This thought filled him with a profound sense of calm. The following Monday, David was scheduled to present his project before senior executives. It was a moment that could define his career trajectory. Ethan, as expected, was present, ready to observe, perhaps even hoping for failure. David noticed his watchful,